Hello and welcome to Akashvani Kohima Youth Forum. I'm your host Kipuile Diswang, and today I bring to you a special program entitled Rooted in Words, Rising in Voice, a literary conversation with Chozila Sangtam. Literature has always been a window to the world, allowing us to explore new ideas, cultures, emotions, and experiences through stories and poetry. From the dramatic brilliance of William Shakespeare to the lyrical genius of Rabindranath Tagore, great writers have shaped the ways we think and feel. Their works continue to inspire generations and remind us that words have the power to influence minds and touch hearts. In today's program, we will journey through captivating poems, thought-provoking excerpts, and meaningful discussions that highlight the beauty of literature. Stay tuned as we explore the wonderful world of literature together.
Today's episode is very special as we celebrate creativity and the quiet courage it takes to tell stories that matter. Writing is more than words on paper. It is memory, identity, emotion, and reflection. And when a writer is also an educator, the influence extends beyond pages in lives and classroom. We are very delighted to feature a promising literary voice from Nagaland, a writer whose words carry sincerity, depth, and grace. She is the author of Miraki, published in the year 2020, and she has also co-authored the book Our Battles, published in the year 2022. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Chozila Sangtam. Chozi, welcome to Akashvani Kohima, and it is such a pleasure to have you with us today. So for listeners hearing about you for the first time, how would you introduce yourself beyond being a writer and educator?
Thank you to your team for inviting me. It's such a privilege for me to come and share my thoughts regarding my journey and me being an educator. Firstly, let me introduce myself. Hello, my name is Chozila. I belong to Kifri district from Siojung village. I did my master's in linguistics and also in culture studies. And beyond being an educator and a teacher, I'm an enthusiastic traveler. I love going for trekking, and my hobbies are reading, listening to music, and beyond that, I'm a very enthusiastic learner, and I'm a person who wants to learn new things, and I'm ready to take up challenge anytime. That's all about me.
That's beautifully said. It is always refreshing to see the person behind the titles. Thank you for sharing that deeper glimpse of who you are beyond your profession. So, you hail from Kifri district. How has your upbringing shaped your worldview and writing voice?
Okay, firstly, it's a very new thing experience for me. The place where I grew up, or family where I grew up, I was never introduced to books or articles. I cannot blame them because the environment and the economic lifestyle was totally different from the advanced districts. So for me, I have the interest of reading books from childhood. I read Bible stories or stories from my own English textbooks. So till then, I was never introduced regarding publishing about books or writing about books. So I just thought that it's just being printed out from the computer and they just give us. So like I said, from the background where I grew up, I was never introduced to books, and I never introduced to any kinds of fiction books or any kinds of poetries except my academic books. Yet that gave me the voice to speak for the unprivileged like me to the world through my writing. So when I started coming out from that comfort zone, when I was in my college days, I was introduced there. I was introduced late during my college days from Kohima itself, not from my own district. So regarding my journey with writing, if I have to connect with my own district, I don't have much experience, but I'm happy that I have a lot of stories to tell from my own place.
So that is indeed very powerful. And moving on, when did you first discover your love for reading and writing?
Okay, regarding my reading, like I said, I have the key interest in reading from my childhood. Whenever I get books or whenever I get storybooks from my church or whenever I get any kind of English books, I just read from there. And regarding my writing and as well as deep reading, when it comes to novels, it started from my college days. We had a mini library in my college days, so I usually go there and I read books. From there, I have the key interest in reading, and like I said, I've taken up BA in literature. So through my teachers, I got to introduce in writing, poetry, as well as the stories.
I love how the journey began for you. It's inspiring to know how something so simple can slowly grow into a lifelong passion. Do you remember the first poem or piece you ever wrote, and what was it about?
Okay, I started writing during my college days. So the first piece that I've written is related to environment. That was, I have to submit for the magazine, so I just wrote about the falling trees, because like I'm a kind of person that is very close with the nature. So I want to speak about the nature, but I don't have that voice. So I think poetry have given me that voice to talk about the environment. So far, the first poem that I've written is about the falling trees.
Okay, that's such a special memory, and it's amazing how our earliest writings often carry the purest emotions. So, was there a defining moment when you realized that writing was something you wanted to pursue seriously?
I think yes, because during my college days, when I first written the first piece, that fallen tree, one of my teacher really appreciated my writing. And the second thing is that when my one of my teacher asked every one of us, "What's your aim in life?" and I said that I want to become a writer, and he just gave me a smile that I will never be able to do, because like me being from a background where I was never introduced to writing, so it may just be silly for the teacher, but that gave me that motivation that I have to become a writer. And there was one workshop during my college days, and from there I have the key interest in writing, and from there I've spoken to myself that I'm going to become a writer one day. I'm going to write about my people, I'm going to write about my journey, because writing gives me freedom.
So, indeed, it takes a lot of courage to take writing seriously, and also it's inspiring to hear how you have embraced that calling. So, as someone passionate about reading, what kind of books have shaped you the most?
Growing up, I have read a lot of books, so many books have shaped me, but one genre that have really shaped me is the Naga books. The Naga books have really shaped me the most, because when I started reading the Naga books, it gave me my identity, the lost identity of myself, and as well as the regarding the culture and the uniqueness of the Naga stories. From there, I found my unique voice. So Naga books have really shaped me the most.
So that is indeed very fascinating. The books that we read, they truly become a silent mentor in our lives as well. So is there a particular author or book that deeply influenced your writing journey?
So, like I said, I've started reading novel during my college days. So, one book that really shaped me is a Stern Curie book, that is Mary. I read during my first year. So, when I was reading that, it gave me the perspective of our Naga society, which I was never introduced, because in our own place, that is Kifri, we don't have this kind of stories, and we hardly knew about my culture. So, when I read that book, that Mary, I got to see the other side of the Nagas, and it have really motivated me. That book has been my favorite from the day till now.
Okay, it's wonderful how certain writers leave such a lasting imprint on us, and thank you for sharing that influence. So what does your routine looks like?
Before, I read a lot, but once I became an educator, everybody knows how busy an educator is. So usually I read morning or evening or before I sleep. If I get tired also, I have to read for one page. And my reading routine, I don't have any routine. Anywhere, anytime I carry my book, and whenever I get free time, I read a book.
Okay, that sounds both intentional and nurturing, and it's lovely to hear how you make space for reading no matter how busy you are. So coming back to your book, your poetry collection Miragi, it carries a beautiful meaning, doing something with soul and love. So why did you choose this title, Miragi?
Why I did this title Miragi is that life was not easy for me to achieve this goal, because to pursue career in writing, it's a very challenging for me, because I'm the first generation writer in my own society, so I have a less support and I have a less knowledge about this, so it was very challenging for me. So Miragi is something that the meaning is that to do with our heart. So for me, poetry is something that comes out from my soul, that comes out from my heart, so I have chosen this title so that it will become memorable for my whole life.
Okay, that explanation truly captures the essence of the title that you have given, and it feels deeply personal and heartfelt as well. So, what are the themes that runs through Miraki?
A theme of loss, loneliness, or genuine urge for change in our society, and for a happier bygone days, and genuine urge for a change. Because writing, like I said, I'm from first generation, so it's very difficult for me. I have faced lots of things, so I want to voice out for that. So I've written in my first book through my poems.
Okay, so those themes resonates very deeply, and it's beautiful how poetry can hold such layered emotions. So, was there a poem in the collection that felt especially personal or difficult to write?
Yes, I have written one poem. In our Naga society, it's very hard to talk about the truth. And we feel that if we write about this, people will think that's my journey or that have happened to me. So we have that mindset that people is going to judge me, people are going to talk to me. So when I was writing this poem, that is Rape of Innocence. Rape of Innocence, when it comes to Nagaland, regarding the rape, it's very rare. There are many things that are going on in our own society, but it's very rare to talk about it, because we think that that's just a relative, or just because of love they are doing this. So let's just forget and forgive. Being a Christian, we have that mindset. So it was very difficult for me to write this, but I took that courage and I wrote about this Rape of Innocence that talk about many girls in our own society.
So, can you please read out the poem for us?
Rape of Innocence is very close to me, and I believe many readers will get a connect with it. So let me read out. Rape of Innocence. Clumsy and aesthetic, she was a girl of 10. With pencils and erasers in a tiny bag, she bore the charm of innocence planted by the heavens. Cheerful and delicate, pure and pristine, her love was like a tender bud welcoming the spring, growing and glowing in the richness of innocence. But the world was cruel to her. Hidden behind the marks of loved ones, her innocence was tainted with lusty hands, yet she was not aware. Tears drawn her into deep waters when maturity revived memories of the time she was stripped of innocence. In anger and in pain she rages as she fights her own helplessness, yearning for justice. But after all these years, the evil soars higher in winds of pride, while her freedom was restricted by ropes of shame. Will she break from her silence? Will her anger feel enough courage to stand up against the ones that claim to be her own?
So thank you for sharing something so raw and powerful. That was not just a poem, but it was a voice for many who struggle to speak, and your words indeed carry both pain and courage. It reminds us that literature is not just beauty, but it is also truth, resistance, and healing. So how did publishing your first book change you as a writer?
It transformed me as a person too, and my view on writing, like it shifted from simple to creative expression.
So indeed that growth is very evident, and publishing a first book is such a transformative milestone. So coming to your next book, On Our Petals, which was published in the year 2022, you have co-authored with Vizosinho. How did that collaboration come about?
Actually, we were NCC friends, so even he have the key interest in writing poems, and I've already published a book before. Since both of us share a same interest, so we had a meeting and we had a conversation that let's publish a book together.
So that sounds like an organic and meaningful collaboration, and creative partnerships can be really enriching. What was the experience of co-writing with a partner like Vizosinho?
It was a very interesting journey because she's a kind of person that's full of confidence and knowledge, and I got to learn many things from her. And since we are from a different culture, from different tribe, I got to learn many things regarding their culture. I got to learn many things about her journey, her writings, and even in her poems, I got to see the different side of poems. And I'm happy that I've collaborated with her, and I believe in the future too, we'll try to.
It's beautiful how collaboration can expand creativity. So what does Our Petals represent in your journey as a writer?
Our petals, the title itself defines our lives. Each petal consisting of a story to tell. I have a story to tell, my friend also have a story to tell. And as we decided to come together with our shared love for poetry, we began to see our lives as a petals, growing and learning from each other, reading each other's poetry and adding petals of fragrance in our writings.
That's such a lovely way to describe it. It truly sounds like an important chapter in your literary journey. And how would you describe the experience of being a writer in Nagaland today?
Honestly, it's a very unique experience for me. Since I'm the first generation writer in my society, I was deeply appreciated and supported by my people. Yet on the other side, I don't get much opportunity in our own place, especially as a young or a fresh writer, or I should say there's no connection related to the field of writing. So if I have to describe of being a writer in Nagaland today, I should say both positive and negative. I got lots of love and appreciation from my people, but yet on the other hand, I need some connection, or I need someone from my literature background to push me forward or to give me more opportunity. That is the negative side of being a writer in Nagaland.
So there is always the pros and cons of every aspect that we do, and that perspective is indeed very insightful, and it's important to have honest conversations about the literary landscape in our state. Do you think that there is enough space and encouragement for literature in our state?
Yes, obviously there are many well-known writers in Nagaland and they give lots of opportunities, and there are lots of writers coming up. So Nagaland is a place where there is a unique story to tell, and I believe if the young writers, instead of focusing outside Nagaland, if we just focus on our stories, if we write poetry related to our own kitchen, related to our own things that is around us, instead of trying to figure out outside, it will be a great platform for us. Not only Nagaland but beyond Nagaland will go outside if we just focus mainly on the things that is happening in Nagaland.
Truly, I would agree with you on that. So, how can we nurture a stronger literary culture in Nagaland?
More festivals related to literature, and more opportunity from government side as well as private sectors, and also more workshop on writing and reading as well.
Okay, hopefully the conversation that we are having right now like this will inspire change in the coming days. So you love nature. So how does it influence your writing?
For me, writing is a primary source of my inspiration. Like I said, I have written my first poem related to nature. So it shows that I have a deep connection with nature. Nature gives me peace, or it removes my stress. Because to write something, our mind have to be in peace. And nature have given me that. So nature is something that gives me inspiration. So if I have to sit somewhere alone with nature, obviously I'm going to write lots of poems. Not only related to nature, but apart from nature too.
So that's beautifully expressed, and nature indeed, they really have a way of inspiring the soul of a writer. Is there a particular place in Nagaland that inspires you creatively?
For me, honestly speaking, there is none, because every place is a beautiful place wherever I go. So I can't say a specific place, but I get inspiration from good places in Nagaland.
Okay, so do you find that nature helps you overcome writer's block?
If I have to say, it's 50-50, because it removes our stress. It gives you peace of mind. If it's giving you peace of mind, also if you don't have any writing skills, or if it's not coming out from your heart, it don't make sense. So I should say it's 50-50. There are some people who get inspired from nature, including me. So obviously they'll be able to write, but there are some people, they are not connected with nature. So obviously they won't have much. But for a person who is connected to nature, obviously I should say that they will get a lot of inspiration from nature.
Okay, so that's like grounding approach to creativity. So what does a typical writing day look like for you?
Before, I usually spend my time writing in the morning or evening, at least 500 words in a day. But it's been a years. Being an educator, I was so busy with my work, so I hardly get time to write. So nowadays, I hardly write, but I have lots of written records, yet I'm yet to study it, yet I'm yet to go through that. But there is something inside my heart that keep on telling me to write. So usually, not exactly poems, but I usually write in my diary related to my life stories. So I believe one day the records that I have is going to help me in my writing.
Okay, it's refreshing to hear how your writing fits into your daily rhythm, and we also look forward to your published works in the future. So, as an educator, how does teaching influence your writing?
It have really influenced me, because I get to learn different kinds of stories and poems. Me being an educator, I get to learn the style of writing from different authors, both poetry and stories. It have really influenced my writing skills as well, because not only from the books but from my students as well. I love how this younger generation are writing. I love how they are telling their stories through their writing, through their creativity, because when it comes to assignments too, I usually give that is related to reasoning or creativity skills. So I have read some stories of my own students, I have read some poems of my own students, so I'm learning a lot from my students. I've learned the creativity from my students as well.
Okay, that connection between teaching and writing is so meaningful. It shows how both roles enrich each other in one way or the other. And so what keeps you motivated to continue writing?
Just in 2 words, I should say, my people story, that is the Sangtam people, and my readers.
Okay, so moving on, what would you say to young aspiring writers who are afraid to share their work?
Don't be in hurry and don't copy. Find your own unique voice, because even before I get inspiration from others, I failed to find my own voice. But now I find my own voice, so keep on writing. If you feel and believe that you can be a writer, everybody can. No matter which background you are, no matter in which field or which district you are. So like I said, I'm from a district where writing was a very new thing for me. But I took up the challenge and I'm here. I could able to write something, and I could able to write the stories about my people. So find your own unique voice and don't give up. Keep on writing, keep on reading.
Okay, that's such an encouraging advice to our young aspiring writers, and I hope that many listeners who are listening today take those words to heart and take the inspiration from the advices that you have given. So what qualities do you think every writer should cultivate?
Resilience and persistence. That means ready to get a rejection as well as criticisms and self-doubt, because obviously in this generation your book is going to be rejected by someone, or your book is going to be accepted by someone. On the other hand, you are going to get a lot of criticisms. But the thing is, you have to take that criticisms in a good way and you have to work on it. And the second is self-doubt. Don't have that doubt on you. If you believe that God have a plan for you in writing, go for it and keep on writing. One day your door is going to be open. And the second thing is curiosity and observation, because these two have been a part of me since childhood. The curiosity to learn something, or I observe people a lot. So because of that, in my first book, I have written mostly about things that I've observed. For example, traffic jam, or for example, the use of phone. So curiosity and observation, every writer should have that, because when you have that curious mind and observation mind, you have a lot of stories to tell. And the last thing is the skills skills to write. So if you have that skills to write a story or a poem, it's going to really help you to become a writer.
So those are indeed very powerful qualities, not just for writers, but for life itself as an individual living in a society. What does success mean to you as a writer?
For me, in simple terms, the ability to connect with humans through different stories, or the ability to see someone's pains and emotions, because when someone read my poem or when someone read my writings, they say that it's so relevant to me. I can see my own stories in it. So that is the success for me as a writer.
Okay, that's a very thoughtful definition of success, and it's refreshing and grounding. Moving on to another segment, we have this rapid fire round. So you can answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, starting off with the first one, mountains or valley?
Mountains.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Rainy day writing or bright sunny afternoon?
Rainy day writing.
Forest walk or cozy reading corner?
Cozy reading corner.
If you're writing for a season, which season would it be?
It will be a spring or winter.
Prose or poetry?
For now, prose.
Hard copy books or e-books?
Hard copy.
Silent room or soft instrumental music while writing?
Soft instrumental music while writing.
One word that describes your writing style?
Freedom.
Tea or coffee while reading?
Coffee.
Midnight inspiration or early morning clarity?
Both.
3 words your close friend would use to describe you.
Hardworking, energetic, and funny.
Okay. If you could write from anywhere in the world for a month, where would it be?
For me, Himachal, I want to go there because there are lots of mountains and peaceful place. So I want to go there and spend hours writing.
Indeed, that's a very lovely choice. Chozila, thank you once again for your honesty, your grace, and the quiet strength reflected in your journey. Conversations like these reminds us that writing is not simply about publishing a book or being recognized. It is about preserving memories and expressing truths and giving voice to emotions that others might find otherwise when remain unspoken. So, through your journey as a writer and educator, we are reminded that stories can rise from anywhere, from small towns, from quiet classrooms, or from moments of doubt, or from deep love for nature, and also from lived experiences rooted in our land. So, your journey assures us that even from places often considered as remote, voices can carry far and wide, and when they are sincere and courageous. To all our young listeners across Nagaland and beyond, perhaps you are someone who writes secretly in a notebook, someone who hesitates before sharing a poem, someone who wonders whether your words are good enough. Let this be a reminder that every writer begins with uncertainty, every book begins with a single sentence. What matters is not perfection but persistence, not comparison but authenticity. Literature grows when young people dare to think, dare to feel, and dare to write. Our state holds countless untold stories, like stories of resilience, culture, identity, faith, struggle, and hope. And maybe you, listening right now, are meant to tell one of them. Chozila's journey shows us that writing with sincerity, with Meraki, with soul, can create impact far beyond what we can imagine. As an educator, she shapes minds. As a writer, she shapes hearts. And as a Naga voice, she contributes to the growing literary landscapes of our land. May we continue to support our local writers, and may we create space where creativity is celebrated, and may we never underestimate the quiet power of words. Until our next program, keep reading widely, keep writing bravely, and most importantly, keep believing that your story matters.
This is all we have for this evening. You can also listen to our program by downloading the News on Air app via the Play Store. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back with more enticing programs in the coming days. Have a lovely hours ahead.
Please like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Also, follow us on all our social media handles.